Okay, we live. Peace, everybody, and what up, though? My name is Crown of MECCAcon. Hold on one second. My name is Crown, and of course, I am the host and founder of MECCAcon. Today, we are honored to have my brother Chris, comedian CP, joining us, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself real quick.
What's up, y'all? Yeah, comedian CP. From Detroit. You already know. I don't know.
Your mic real low.
Is it? Hold on 1 second. What about now? What about now?
We good now.
Yeah. Yep. Comedian CP from Detroit. Yeah, man. I live in Hollywood now. Shit, man. Started my journey in the D. Shit. Now we here.
And how did you start your comedic journey? Because I know about your advertising. We're going to talk about that in a second because I'm about business. But let's talk about the comedy aspect. How did you get into comedy? Like, what encouraged you and excited you to want to be a comedian, let alone in the city of Detroit?
Right. Well, I mean, I couldn't help but do it in the D because that's where I'm from. So I was like, that is what it is. Shit, I got to be where I'm at. But I think, I've had a passion for it pretty much my whole life. Like, my mom, she knew that I was, really, really funny to adults at an early age. My teachers used to always say it. I got good grades. My citizenship was terrible. I was one of them type of niggas. And, my mom, she used to buy me like Richard Pryor albums for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that the other kids wasn't on that. So I would go to school and I'd be saying his shit to the kids. And they'd be like, this nigga crazy with it. But really, but I mean, it's just, I've always wanted that for myself. I think that as I got older, I put limitations on my shit, right? Like, I was like, oh, I can't, that's not feasible. So let me go to college and be an advertising exec. At least I can be close to the industry and I can affect it with my mind as much as I can. And that was just a bad way to look at it. I mean, the truth of the matter is that kids from where I'm from, they don't tell us that you could do whatever the fuck, whenever the fuck, wherever the fuck. They just kind of, they want you to do what they did, work at the plant, get some big ass boots or some Rockports or some shit. And you know what I'm saying? That was kind of, that was what the plan was, you know what I'm saying? So at least in my area. So, just my mom is being encouraging. That was really a big part, like, I'm one of them niggas who, if my mom say it's right, then it's right. I don't give a fuck what nobody else talking about. If my mama says it's cool, then it's cool. And so my mom, she just thought I was funny. All her friends laughing at me. She used to set me up. And, it was, as I look back, I don't even know if she knew what she was creating, or what was even possible all the way, but that's what it was.
And then what area of Detroit were you raised in? Because since this is a Detroit show, we have to be petty and say what block. So what area of Detroit were you from?
Oh, I'm from Brightmoor, Braille and Schoolcraft, Bramall and Finkel. My granddad's down Fourier and Finkel. So that's like the Puritan, Greenfield area, you know what I'm saying? Really all over the west side.
Yeah, very west side.
Yeah, very west side. So but shout out to the east side though. I like the east side because when you go to the east side, that shit feel like Ohio to me. I'd be like, where the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? They got all kind of shit on the east side. Waffle houses and shit. Like, what the fuck? Where's we at right now? You know what I'm saying? So I fuck with the east side, man. Heavy.
It's a whole nother planet over there compared to the west side. Like that, people wonder why it's so much divisiveness. It's two entirely different planets.
It's parts of the east side where it's 2005 at right now.
Yeah, it's a whole nother species of mankind on both sides.
Shout out to the sea peeps out there. I see y'all.
What was that's what I'm saying. They didn't pull it up. They didn't pull it up today. So what was your first show?
My first show or my first show?
How did it go?
First show or first joke?
Oh no, not first show. What was your first open mic? I forgot we in Detroit. What was your first?
All right, cool. First open mic, bam. It's a 7 Mile and Telegraph. It's a little spot called the Boss Life Lounge. Foolish had a spot he would do there every Tuesday.
Shout out to Foolish.
Shout out to Foolish, right? So I'm on my way home from work. I was living downtown I had like a high-rise loft. I'm working. I'm thinking I'm making, a little bit of bread, and I'm on the freeway. I had just sold my first commercial, like my very first solo wrote commercial by me. It was a Walmart Christmas commercial. It was huge at the time. This was like a staple in my
your advertising career.
In my advertising career, right? I have been wanting that spot for so long. That's the biggest spot for the biggest company in the world. Right. And when I got it, I just didn't feel nothing. And it was scaring me because I'm like, man, I have been fighting this comedy thing and not doing it. And, in my head, it was like, man, I'm making all this money. I don't want to, why put myself in something where niggas can choose to fuck with it or not? You know what I'm saying? So, but at that time, when I got everything I wanted, I got to the mountaintop of advertising in my eyes, and I felt nothing. I wasn't happy because that just wasn't my calling. I was just trying to do something close to my calling so I could be happy with that or make my parents proud or, you know what I'm saying? Have some money, get some rims and shit. You know what I'm saying? That was my mind. Yes. So I'm on the freeway. I'm on my way home. I hear Foolish on the radio like, hey, man, we, the spot tonight. I look up. I'm driving past 7 miles, so I come up on Southfield Freeway. Potholes everywhere. I feel like I was on the train tracks. You know what I'm saying? And went to the club, talked to the owner, told her, what my dream was and how I felt like this was the place to start. She liked me. She said, man, you got that suit on. You a little professional guy. Come back tonight. So I came back. I brought all my frat brothers because I ain't want no problems. A 7 Mile Telegraph. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Brightmo nigga. So, I brought all my niggas with me. And
what was your frat, black man?
Oh, I'm a Kappa Alpha Psi. So Michigan State, Delta Pi. So shout out to Michigan State, by the way, go green. So I came back. Foolish was like, Foolish didn't give a fuck, which I love because it was like coming from a frat, I wanted to be hazed because I wanted to be real. So I'm like, all right, what's up, Foolish? How you doing? Like, nigga, shut up. I'm like, you right? So I'm trying to get down tonight. Tamika said to holler at you. He was like, all right, cool. What's your name? I'm gonna put you up right now. I'm like, oh shit, right now? I'm like, all right, well, I'm CP. That nigga had a blunt. I never forget. He passed it to his boy. It was cool as hell. Like one of them movies, fucking, one of them old ass movies. Like he was old nigga. Like, what's the name of that movie with Lorenz Tate? Damn.
Which one?
We had that white paint on his face.
Dead
Presidents. Yeah, Dead Presidents. Yeah. It was like that, right? Smokey in that bitch. We in the back room. He hit his blunt, passed it to his mans. All right, CP, I got you. Go on stage and say, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for TP. I'm like, oh man, dog, this is my first night of having my name. Nigga, how you gonna fuck me up?
He did this on purpose.
So yeah, probably. But I used that and I roasted him. See, at the time, nobody knew how much of a roaster that I was and how, I was I feed off of that kind of, I feed off of going back and forth and, what I'm saying? The opportunity to go back and forth with somebody like Foolish. I'm not about to pass that up. I'm not one of them scary new niggas. I'm just new.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, if you know Foolish, you know how he looks. So I was like, man, give it up for Foolish, man. I've been seeing you all over the city. I didn't know who the fuck you was because you work for the radio. I'm like, damn, nigga, Bun B love the city. They was dying. And so that set me up. And that just, that laugh. I'm one of those comedians where at first starting off, the laugh is what would build me up.
Mm-hmm.
So I get a laugh, and then off of that laugh, I can build off of that laugh, and that laugh, Now as a comedian, I've kind of transitioned into more of a storytelling style, and so the silence is golden to that kind of comedian. I would rather it be silent, and then when I hit the punch, the silence can break. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can laugh, and then we get back to it. I like that more so than back then. I needed to laugh every couple of seconds because I needed to know that y'all was with me. Are y'all hearing? You know what I'm saying? It was that kind of vibe at that time. But yeah, that was my first show, man. My first on the stage in the D. I got a standing ovation that time, just so you know. Niggas give me my props. I got a standing ovation. And then the next week I came back, I had fans, right? People was like, yo, you the nigga who talk about the pothole pussies. I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me. They was like, all right, let me buy you a drink. Everybody who know me, they know I don't drink. I can't drink, right? I can smoke 4-5 blunts, laugh with you, whatever. One beer, I'm a crackhead. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like one beer, yeah, right. Like one brew, it had me like straight up wino. So I'm like, nah, but this is my first time having fans. These niggas, they fuck with me. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take a Heineken. Heineken turned into 2 Heinekens, 3 Heinekens. Next thing you know, I don't remember no jokes. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And I get on stage and I'm bombing, right? And so I go to my old faithful. I'm like, fuck it. It worked on Foolish. Let me roast a nigga real quick, right? But the nigga I roasted was a comedian as well that I didn't know because I didn't know all the comedians yet.
Who was it?
His name was Black Coffee. Do you know Black Coffee?
And what's going on with the story?
This nigga was crazy. I had no idea he was crazy. Now, mind you, let me say this. Let me set the picture.
I'm biting my tongue so hard right now.
Now, my mom was there. She had brought a bunch of family members because my mom came when I got the standing ovation. I didn't tell you that part. She was there with all my frat brothers. She was there. And so in her mind, it was like, that shit might as well have been an NBA draft. She's like, yep, this is it. We got it. I see what it is. He went number 1. She invited the whole family.
I was about to say, you know, she called the whole church up there.
Man, look. So now they watching Black Coffee tear my ass up. I'm talking, he like, you bitch ass nigga. Who are you? Bitch ass nigga. You little faggot bitch. I was like, oh shit. I was like, nigga, slurs? I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? You little bitch with your polo shirt on.
I have so much to say, but I'm biting my tongue.
Oh man, that nigga killed me. So at that point, you know, the homies who I invited, right? My homies from the block who I invited, I'm like, nigga, I'm doing comedy now. Like y'all always said I should. I'm killing it. Come check it out. They can't. They like, nigga, you sure you want to do this, bro? You could. I got a sack for you if you want to get some bread, nigga. What you? And I'm like, listen, man. Like, just trust me. I remember that whole night they was clowning me. I'm like, man, listen, man. I promise I can do this shit. And I mean, just I love those stories because of how humbling. I remember being humbled immediately by the game. Right, having got a standing O and then having bombed gave me the correct respect that I needed for the game, you know what I'm saying, for what was ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, you starting off, the open mic is your life. You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but it's so much more to this game.
Yeah.
So much more rejection and so much, you know, it's losses, it's victories, it's a lot of that kind of stuff. But that was an excellent intro to what this thing was gonna be, you know, what my career for the rest of my life was gonna be.
What was your first show that you got booked for, wherever it was at? What was your very first show? And who else was on the show?
Okay, so the first show, so when after that show, after the very first time I went up, I went back to work with a new attitude. Fuck everybody. Y'all don't know me. Y'all don't know what I'm about to do. You all are peasants working this whole ass 9 to 5. I'm only here because I need my check. Other than that, you niggas need to get y'all life together. All of you are losers. And that's how I act. I remember my CEO, I started having shows more and more. And my CEO his wife came to one of my shows, and his secretary came to one of my shows. And so he called me into his office. He was like, I'm thinking I'm in trouble because I've been coming into work late, sleeping at my desk. I'm a full-fledged comedian a couple months into it now. At least full-fledged to me. I'm dedicating my little heart to it, right? And so he was like, man, look, you know, I'm still riding the high from the Walmart commercial that I just sold. That's still huge in the company. So it's not as if I'm necessarily fireable at this moment. But he was like, look, man, everybody telling me that you're good at what you're doing. Everybody loving what you do. You know, it's 2009. I'm sorry, 2010 at this point. The recession is in full swing. We're coming out of it, but everybody's downsizing. He like, look, man, we got to let somebody go. And if you don't want it to be you, we don't want it to be you. But we prepared to offer you a fat ass severance package, and you can get unemployment, keep your insurance with Cobra, go out and, nigga, chase your dreams. They told me the day I was going to get fired because we had it all planned out. They told me the day. So I, the day before that, I stayed a little after, cleaned my desk out when nobody was there. I didn't want nobody to see me with no fucking box like I one of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Bye, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I hate to be that. Bye, everybody. Bye, y'all. And so I cleaned out my desk and I made a video and I put it on server for the office, just like a highlight of my 2.5 years there. All the stuff I had did. It was like music behind it. Nobody asked me. I just did it because I was creative. And what I was asking for was freedom. I needed to go do what I needed to do, but I didn't want them to feel like, because what they did for me was insurmountable.
Oh, yeah, to this day.
To this day. Because I pitched often. Back then I was pitching 30-second commercials. Now I'm pitching movies and shows, and the poise that you have to be able to do that. That's poker. You sitting at the table, and we all playing our cards. And so the education that I got there through that is just, I can't. But the next day came and everybody was crying, we better see you on TV. And I just never forget that because they really fucked with me up in there, and it was like, man, it's hard to walk away from motherfuckers who got love for you. But how much love do you have for yourself?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I look up and I was trying to make, I think my next raise would have put me at like maybe 42 grand a year trying to make at the agency.
Right.
This is 2010
in Detroit.
This is in Detroit. This is a decade ago. 40 grand is 4.2 million in Detroit monies. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, it's amazing the growth. Now that would depress me to make 40 grand a year, you know what I'm saying, in comedy and with what I'm doing. So it's one of those things where that experience meant everything to me. It set me apart from what I see some of my comedian brothers and sisters where they had to start from as far as understanding the entertainment industry. It was like an internship for my career that I didn't even know I needed. So for that, I'm thankful. But the biggest thing was that for me, I needed to be able to create and then get full credit for what I created, as opposed to it being for the company. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that
I always talk business as fuck to every single guest because I'm a business person. Like all the jokes, all the music, all the poetry, all the comics, all the animation, all that shit is great. But let's talk business as well.
And so I think that's
what I thrive on.
Yeah, and I think that to bet on myself or to invest in myself was probably one of the most important decisions that I ever made. And I think that people just, the main thing I tell people is be prepared to be a rookie. Right. And I think that, in some cases, like if you're a rookie in the NBA, people associate that with a lot of money and it's a lifestyle involved with that. So nobody has a problem with being that rookie.
Right.
See, everybody wants to be the vet at everything. Everybody want to be sweet and out cold with it, but nobody want to be the rookie. And it's like, man, this ain't no different than the NBA to me. This is my NBA. This is the NBA for short, funny niggas. This ain't for the tall, jumpy niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, your rookie year, you don't get shit. You don't get shit till you a veteran. And you know what I'm saying? So the fight is to become a veteran. And you become a veteran not through years, but through stripes and clout and experience and just fucking real work. Real work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that being grateful for every step that I've ever been in is what unlocked the next step. Now, I'm not about to sit here and cap and act like I was initially thankful all the time.
Right.
There were times where I felt like, fuck, I deserve what this nigga got. Why the fuck is this nigga the nigga when I'm supposed to be the nigga? But I had to let that go in order to understand. And it's like, nigga, it's his season. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we pulling slingshots back, the first nigga to shoot probably didn't pull his shit back that far. And his shit probably won't go that far. But if you back here,
that you even understood that because everybody's time is not the same time as everybody's time. And especially it seems like with comedians, especially with y'all. But what was your first show? Anyway,
thank you for that. So after that, let me go. My family took me on a cruise right, to decompress after I'm about to start a whole new life.
Right.
So I appreciated that cruise. Shout out to my auntie Sharon and Uncle Stan. They really they hooked me up because people were kind of worried about me. They were like, "What the fuck what are you doing? You did all that college for this." I got back and I got a call from Western Michigan. They wanted to book me to open up for Lil Duval, just me and Duval. And so I'm doing 30 minutes, and then Duval is doing an hour. Now this is my first 30 minutes that I've ever done. And this is where I began kind of coining the CP style. This is where I start like my wife be like, "You scare me on stage," because I would leave home and be like, "I don't know what the fuck I'm finna say." Then I get back home and be like, "They loved it," because what it is what I've tapped into is understanding who I am. And that's all I can provide on stage is who I am. And so if I stick in that lane of who I am, I write down my thoughts a lot, not necessarily writing jokes, but just a thought, maybe a topic, and I trust my brain on those topics. So I let myself talk. And that's the most exciting thing about comedy for me is that when I do that, it's like me going to my own show. I can laugh. Sometimes I bust out laughing on stage so hard. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know I was going to say that shit. And that shit was funny as hell. And it's like, man. Anyway, did that show. A lot of people said I was funnier than Lil Duval on that show. And that is what started this whole the whole like Michigan run. After that, I opened up for like Wiz Khalifa and a couple other artists up at Ferris State. Then I opened up for like Big Sean at Eastern. And that whole crew, the Big Sean crew and all of them, Finally Famous and everybody that was a subsidiary of that at that time, it wasn't about affiliation, but they were doing shit and they were moving. And so it was a good barometer to see if you were moving. And so, when I aligned with those guys, it was like, okay, cool. I'm moving with some guys who are moving. And then that put me into,
that's about their business.
Exactly. At that time, me and Tommy Walker started a company. Tommy Walker, who does Detroit vs. Everybody right now. But at the time, we started a company.
I was going to ask you about him too.
Yep. So we started a company in 2010 where we like consulted with like, Mike Posner, Big Sean, your Early Max, Ant Farm. We had a lot of clients that, quite frankly, we all were just booming rookies together. But it was just like, lending a hand and figuring out how our skill sets could help each other to grow. And I always say, like, my rise in comedy in Detroit was very fast if you look at it in comparison to some of my classmates who I came through comedy with. But you got to understand that one thing I didn't do is I looked at it like, okay, I'm an entertainer in the city of Detroit. And so I started aligning myself with other entertainers, not always comics. To me, sometimes during that time, before I really set the TV lounge off to open it up to my college crowd and to the models in the city and all of that, the comedy scene in Detroit was it was kind of like, it was like a very angry scene. You know what I'm saying? It was a very like, it was like a lot of animosity. I'm like, who the fuck? Why is everybody pissed at everybody? What the fuck is going on? I didn't
talk about that.
And so I found myself hanging with rappers and hanging with singers and choreographers and poets and painters. Shout out to the poets. But you know what I'm saying? And so what that did was it didn't blind me to what an artist could be overall. Oh man, artists be having fun. Artists travel. Artists, do, what I'm saying? So it was just, man, it was a great experience to start my comedy career in a city that ain't shit to laugh about in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, everything else has been a breeze since Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Chicago. I lived in Atlanta. I lived in LA. All of those have been like, nothing can fuck with if I make you laugh in Detroit, your ass had to laugh. It ain't about, don't nobody come to the comedy show want to laugh. Niggas be like, yeah, my bitch wanted to come. Nigga, fuck you in this club. And they be like, all right.
And what's in the audience?
How everybody feeling tonight? You know what I'm saying?
And that's what, I was going to talk to you about, Tommy. So are you all doing any business right now, or have you all discussed talking about doing future business? Because Tommy is definitely one of the greatest people that have come outside the city of Detroit. Like the
shit. So listen. Tommy is a trailblazer. He's a pioneer by far. I think that our circle has been lucky to be a circle full of leaders. So, you know, what I do and what Tommy does at this stage, I think that we started off like together, like, all right, bro, we in this together, just me and you. And then the art community had to come and get Tommy. Do you understand that? Like, the comedy community had to come and get me. I remember specifically when it was like, man, I ain't talked to Tommy in like 2 months, when Detroit vs. Everybody was taking off crazy. And then I'm in LA, I'm in Chicago doing Empire. Then I'm in LA writing for Brightmore, my cartoon I did with P. Diddy that never came out. Then
we definitely gonna talk about Empire.
Then I leave, you know what I'm saying? It's like then I'm producing my own show, the Reggie Bo show on TBS. And so you look up and it's like, damn, I'm talking to Tommy on the phone, like, man, how you been, bro? Like, man, nigga, I'm over here, working with motherfuckers like Virgil Abloh know who Tommy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, and so, it's like, I'm just very proud of all my friends, but I think that
indeed
our clique is so rugged because everybody is on their own so dope. And then when we come together and have a project and do stuff, it'd be like, oh my God. Like, people be like, Tommy? Or Tommy, they hit him up. You know CP? It's like, bro, that's my brother. Like, that brother, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my brother. So, I think that anything that he needs my help with, like, we collab all the time on stuff that you would never know that we collabed on, because it's not about like credits. I have enough credits. I don't need no credit for nothing that you do. I'm trying to help you. Tommy called me, Ober Roland called me, hey, bro, you should do a joke like this. I'm like, all right, how would you do it? And we talk about it. If I like it, that shouldn't make it to the stage. I wouldn't be like, Ober wrote that, or Tommy wrote. It's just like, we are brothers and we help each other all the time.
Let's talk about Empire, because I can't believe what I found out the other day. So he went off on you?
Oh, man. So look, I can't be talking about that no more, man. But I will say it like this. Sometimes, man, people in this industry specifically, they haven't learned that lesson yet, that you gonna have to see somebody again. I learned that lesson many times, many moons ago. It's like, somebody who was a low level actor on this set to you right now. I was on Empire and I had 2 shows in production that I couldn't even tell them about, in the fear that they would not let me be on the show or treat me different. But what that also had me is, I was on that bitch with my nuts hanging. I knew that they weren't the end all be all for me. And that's how they took it. Fuck no. You're lucky to be here. This is, and so I think that, that whole attitude was such a turnoff for me. And I wanted it for real. I'm gonna tell you what it was like. It was like capping. It's like, it don't feel good to lie about how dope your life is. It don't feel good to be in a situation where everybody say you lucky, but secretly you getting your ass beat or you getting abused, or, you know what I'm saying? It don't feel good. Fuck what everybody else was proud of me for. It did not feel good. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know my dad, nigga. My dad is a Brightmore nigga, raised pit bull puppies and barbecue and all this shit. So, nigga, Lee Daniels, you ain't Father Lee to me, nigga. You motherfuckers don't get no, like, bro, I'm a black man who knows who the fuck he is. So ain't no, I learned my lesson about working for the bread back when I was making Walmart commercials. Fuck the money. And so, as I knew I had a little bit of time before my deadline article would come out, and they had me and Diddy and, and I think at that time, he and Diddy were going through something, because something about his son was supposed to be on the show, or it was Diddy's story that they was telling. There was all kind of bullshit going on. I didn't give a fuck, because they didn't pay me enough to give a fuck. So,
I ain't even know nothing about that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm trying not to let you set yourself up and get yourself in trouble either.
What I will say is this: that was a learning experience for me, and I think that what I saw is how people view their chance at success, because people only gonna put it off onto you. Why you messing up a good job over there? You on Fox? Why you fucking up? Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. That's how niggas be getting fucked in their ass.
Yeah.
About go with the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga. Yeah, y'all gonna see. In other news, Detroit niggas shoots up a set because niggas had him fucked up. You know, that's how I'm cut. And so knowing yourself is the most important thing. It's like, bro, all right, yeah, a motherfucker got one time to hold me and I quit, nigga. It's like, fuck you.
You know.
But now it's like, you know, I'm an executive producer. Now I'm calling the shots. Now I'm writing the media. Now what's being said is because I said it. And so, you know, this motherfuckers who I ain't got never say their name, but nigga, you would never get a job from me. You will never work on no shit I work on. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I go, because you got it all figured out. You was making the bread. I was a broke. I was damn near extra. I wasn't shit. But you gotta fucking remember that, because when a nigga see you again and he up, niggas don't forget that. I'll take my belt off and whoop your ass. That's the that's the type of nigga. That's where I'm from. Yeah. Where I'm from, it's like, dog, Detroit, you don't just talk crazy to no grown ass man.
Yeah, I go through this quite often. Like, you would not believe in the comic community, and they wonder why I act the way I act. And I keep telling these people, I'm like, every fucking body from Detroit acts like me. I'm not anything different. I don't tolerate shit. I'm very low tolerant of people's egos and, you know, pompous ass attitudes. Right. And I don't know how to kiss people's ass. People in Detroit don't kiss people's ass. So I don't. Let me tell you this.
Let me tell you this though.
I've never learned that.
This is what I've learned from living in Hollywood, right? And it's gonna fuck you up. A lot of these comics be from other places where black people don't really run shit. So they gotta do a lot of look-a-hooing and rubbernecking and tea-talking. Because they can't lose out on the blackness of, because, you know, your little city, you from whatever, that little East Coast, y'all got y'all little close little group of niggas over there, so you can't really, nigga, in Detroit to be like, nigga, it's like we don't have that. You cannot, ain't no disrespect. If it's disrespect, it's a problem. And if it's a problem, then it's a fucking problem.
Yeah. All
right, stop, because I get amped up every time somebody asks me about that shit. I'd be like, "Dog, where that nigga at?"
Well, I'm always turned up. I'm just sick right now, so I'm trying to.
I remember. Hold on, let me say this too. I slept on the floor. Empire, like I slept. It's a white comedian named Brad. Brad was he got caught up selling like fake Rolexes and some shit like that, but they wasn't fake, they was real. Shout out to my nigga Brad. He that nigga hit a lick and he was hooking niggas up. But I slept on his floor for about 7 weeks. He had a dog. It was like I was fucked up, broke. I left my job at the radio. I was working at 107.5. Left that job.
I remember that.
And went to Empire, but you know, you don't get paid for a long ass time. And then I was fucked up. And so already it's like, man, you don't know what I went through to get here. And because I'm not this nigga or that nigga or somebody who you deem as important, you want to play me like that. But now look, where this nigga at? This nigga in jail for lying. This nigga didn't beat his bitch. This nigga fucking lost his mind. It's like, nigga, and I'm fucking executive producing in Hollywood on my 7th project.
Say names don't even need to be dropped.
I gotta let my nuts hang, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. Empire was a special breed. You know what I'm saying?
That was a special time.
You know, and shout out to Empire, and I wish them all the best. I'm lying.
All the best. Yeah.
That's what I'm supposed to say.
Hope they selling all the DVDs and memorabilia and lipsticks and shit they can sell.
Empire. My whole personal, because I won't get in trouble for saying this. My personal, and we're gonna stop talking about this after this, but I must say, because I have a film festival, I've always been insulted by what Empire put out because of all the resources that they had, all the money that they had, all the foundations that they built upon. This is what the fuck y'all put up. And it's just always been disappointing to me. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let it go because I'm trying to pretend I'm professional today.
Let's I'm gonna tell you something. I got so many blessings, man, that you know that puts me in
it don't even matter.
That puts, you know, Dave Chappelle just dropped this special. And he was talking about how he was young and he had kids and he was broke and he signed some deals and got into some situations that he never would have. And that's just how I feel. Like, you know,
everything leads to something else. Everything always. And speaking of, let's talk about Oaklandia. Is that how you pronounce it, Oaklandia?
Yeah. So right now, so just so you know, Oaklandia is a working title. That may not be the title when it comes out, just so everybody understands that. But
and tell everybody what Oaklandia is, who you working with.
It's an adult animated project. It don't mean that it's like butt naked and no shit like that, but you gotta say adult so people know it's not kids. What we trying to do, man, without the claymation of it, I miss like cartoons like the PJs, where I felt like, man, the Black experience and the Black voice was really, really there. I used to look forward to watching that. And I think that, you know, the fact that got canceled and that's not on season 28 like The Simpsons is, lets you know that we didn't have a voice. Because I don't know a person that didn't love that show. Period.
I don't need that love.
And I'm gonna tell you something, a little inside industry shit. If they talk about what Eddie Murphy was too busy to do that, because it's animated. I know how that shit works. Go ask people who made Shrek. I can't say their name because I got some shit going on, but Shrek and Donkey is played by Eddie Murphy, but it's also played by Dean, another comedian named Dean Edwards, very, very, very funny voice comedian who can do Eddie so well that Eddie can just sit back and relax and let this nigga do Donkey sometimes. People don't know that. But see, that's what I'm saying, because so it ain't because he was too busy, it's something else, because that shit was a hit. So I think Oaklandia, I'm trying to get back to that feel.
Because you talking like everybody know. I know, but tell everybody in the audience, what is Oaklandia? Who you doing the project? Right.
So Oaklandia is an animated project. We're doing it with Amazon Studios, which I love, because just working with Amazon, you know, it don't. I guess it helps that they're the richest company in the world, but they do shit. They take care of. They take care of business. But this show is. It's just about a Black family who is based in Oakland and San Francisco. And it's a story about what is going on with the Black families and the Black neighborhoods as it pertains to gentrification, as it pertains to the tech boom blowing up and how that's taking over these cities and what that means on a very, very, very small microcosm. So we just focusing in on this one family and what they go on. And it's produced by myself, my writing partner, Daniel Dominguez, Snoop Dogg, and Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn has a cartoon called F is for Family that I don't think anybody knows that he produces on, because that's Bill Burr. But yeah, that's Vince Vaughn's company, Wild Wild West. They produce that. And so what I liked about them is that they have a successful cartoon on the air that's, you know, it's on Netflix. And I just like the tone of it. We collabed, and then Snoop is just, you know, they have been trying to work with Snoop and do a project with him. And, you know, this just all really came together. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, Hollywood is Black projects is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? If you're not one of these people that's out here taking advantage of the fact that they're waking up to the disparity, I don't want to be like the white guilt, but they're taking advantage of the disparity and difference between. Yeah. And so you have to understand and have your ducks in a row. It's a good time to sell. I'm also working on a movie with DreamWorks right now that, so we did that deal about 4 or 5 months ago. It hasn't come out on deadline yet, but it will.
What is the movie about? You can't talk about it at all yet.
I just want to say that it deals with the racial tension, and it's breaking it down in a way with kids. I mean, like breaking it down to kids in a way that they're going to really understand it. The idea that the next generation is who we need to focus on to make sure that they understand what this generation seems to have fucking forgot over the last 50 years. And so we using animals. It's going to be cool. All I can say, though, until the press release comes out.
No. I'm not about to get you.
Oaklandia, Snoop Dogg is going to voice one of the main characters, which is dope. I may be voicing the star. We don't know yet. You know, right now we're just in development. You know, just finding the voices for our characters, and just, you know, the developmental phase is a lot. I've been working on this shit for like a year before people even knew about it.
Okay.
This phase is, you know, it's a long process. But I remember just like your boy Carl, you tried to put me in contact with Carl, and I've been.
He did call you. He did. Hit you up. He did end up hitting you up.
Well, no. So tell me.
I'm about to say I'd be shocked. I mean,
no.
No.
So I was in a meeting and looking for a showrunner for another project that I had was working on with BET, and his name came up as somebody who I could possibly look to partner with or hire. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to, you know what I'm saying, meet him, because I've been trying to meet the nigga forever, but it just didn't work out. But it's just crazy how full circle stuff comes back around. I couldn't get a hold of you, but we're going to get in contact for sure.
He only answers the phone once every other year, and that's my brother. Nerves. He literally, I got 85 people cussing me out for Carl not calling him back. I'm like, bruh.
It's all good. I get it. I'll be busy too. You know what I'm saying? He's a pioneer in this shit. And, because I had a project at Adult Swim that I did 2 years ago. And that's up right now on Adult Swim, where I did the white face and the fat character, like the clumps and all of that.
What show was this?
It's called Old Bud's ANU Football Weekly. So you could look it up. Adult Swim. What my character's name is Bud Billiken or Bud Gellerman. We had to change his name because it's a real Bud Billiken. I didn't even know that. It's some of everybody probably, but whatever. But it's a real Bud Billiken. But yes, we changed it.
Or is it on their website?
It's on their website. It's a special. So it come on TV like once a month. It's a one-off special. You know what I'm saying? But it really keys on the master slavery aspect of college football and how these kids is working in that field for free.
It's a big
yeah. So it was dope. I played the white coach and the black coach, and it was you would hear his name.
That's his fucking that's his shit. He down there run Adult Swim. That's
exactly.
You can't say Adult Swim and not say Carl. You can't say Cartoon Network and not say Carl Jones. I have done a lot of panels and presentations and different shows through MECCAcon for years that highlight animation, and I always include Carl, or I talk about Carl. I've dealt with racist animators who have been silly enough to tell me that man's presence is irrelevant, and I'm like, well, motherfuckers don't know who you are, but all is well. So
man. They. I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. It's for a white male. It's rough in Hollywood right now because nobody want to hear what they got to say.
2020.
Yeah, nobody want to hear what the fuck they got to say at all. So I know a lot of my white writer friends who ain't doing shit because they can't do shit because nobody want to hear what they got to say. So I can the racism, I get it, but it don't matter because we still about to bust your ass right away. Carl got to hit me up, man. He got to know everybody not trying to get no money or get put on. I'm the one. We can make some fucking real shit together. You know what I'm saying? Carl, if you watching, nigga, hit us up, man. I'm not trying to fuck with you. Anyway.
Carl get on my damn nerves. But anyway, what else did I want to talk to? Oh, let's talk about Detroiters, because you play Ned on Detroiters. There's a lot of my friends that are from out of state that are like obsessed with Detroiters. What happened to the show? Is this still airing, or did it get canceled? Did it end?
Unfortunately, it got canceled.
Okay.
Here's the thing. My bad. It's a gardener right outside my door who, I guess his job is to just blow on podcasts. Give me a second while this motherfucker go by.
I can't even hear it.
Hey, y'all can hear it. Cool. But so what it is it's a strange thing with Comedy Central. Like, as a comedian, Detroiters is probably one of the funniest shows that I've ever seen. Especially for them to have to stay in the parameters of two guys from Detroit, and you know what I'm saying, like, it ain't like they was in Hollywood with it, or in Miami on their show. They was in Detroit, the real Detroit, doing real Detroit shit, Chrysler and all. I mean, it was such a fucking but hey, that parade is in Chicago, Elgin. I don't know shit about that, nigga. I'm from the D. Only parade we got is Thanksgiving parade.
My bro done put the link up.
He put the link up. So look. So, that's why they wanted us to take that shit down, because of the parade. But anyway, it's unfortunate, man, because that show.
Every large fan base. I was surprised because wonder what happened. I'm like, I don't hear nobody talking about it anymore. Like, did it get canceled?
Traders had like cult fans to the point where it's like we could have did like a Comic-Con or one of them kind of shits. You know what I'm saying? MECCAcon. You know what I'm saying? We could have did one of the cons, you know? But to be able to work with them, right? Not just Tim and Sam, who are geniuses, but they pulled me in to work with Lauren Michaels, Saturday Night Live. Literally, our writer's room was in his office. Then you got Jason Sudeikis.
I know who that is.
So look, first day on the job, I'm in there trying to fire off ideas. I'm the funniest nigga from Detroit in my class. And I'm like, nigga, this Detroiters, I got. And so Jason looking at me like, who is this motherfucker? By season 2, me and Jason, that's my guy. Like, who got the weed? I got the, that's my nigga. And so, even though he ain't no nigga, but he told me, he was like, man, Chris, I was with my family. They were in like Venice or something like that. And so he said, we're walking. This black dude is riding by on a bike. This black dude said, hey, man, I know who you are. Of course, he's like, yeah, well, I'm Jason Sudeikis, so I don't know, and no motherfucker know who I am. He said, you know CP, you on Detroiters. And he's like, yeah, I do know CP. He's like, but he told me the story. He was like happy and hype, and we was, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, damn, like that kind of made me feel like, what the fuck is going on? Like, people know me like that? Because this shit is just, I do it because I love it. I'm not doing it because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so I forget that I look like me. Motherfucker be like, hey, I'd be like, oh shit, you can recognize me? Like, oh shit. But I be forgetting that I'm me, man.
That's because people from Detroit are very chill. Like, we also have very stank attitudes and we arrogant as fuck, but we also chill with our arrogance. It's a wonderful balance that we seem to have.
Yeah. I think we don't I don't get too high on myself, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna get low on myself, but I'm not finna be that nigga who I'm rah. No, it's just like I'm thankful that I got the opportunities that I got. Hope everybody can achieve what they want to achieve.
Yeah, like All Def Comedy and all of that. Like, who were you on All Def Comedy with?
You talk about on HBO?
Yeah, because you did 2 different things with All Def.
Yeah, so I'm on. So okay, so All Def is a viral internet brand. So they have that. But then all of it is a subsidiary of Def Jam, and so Def Comedy Jam is a part of that, and so they brought that back under the new All Def Comedy Live, just to kind of be like, it's the new version. So I was on the first episode of that with Kevin Tate, Tony Roberts. There's only 5 people on there. 3 of them was from Detroit.
Wow. Who were the other ones from? Oh, well, you just said
Kevin Tate and Tony Roberts. And then, of course, it was Zaynab and Robert Powell was on there as well. And they're very funny. But I'm just proud of the fact that Detroit, all, you know what I'm saying, was on that show.
That's a heavy rep for 5 comedians and 3 of them in the same city. That's like Detroit, 60%. Not New York, not LA, not Chicago, but the D.
Exactly.
That says a lot in itself. Who are your favorite Detroit comedians? I feel like starting shit so people can talk shit about it on Facebook later that you in their name. So what? Because we're some emotional comedians in Detroit. Who are your favorite comedians in Detroit?
All right, so look, I gotta put my favorites to the people that came before me who have my respect, right? So those are as follows. Of course, you got Coco and Foolish, who I felt like were kind of like king and queens of comedy in the city. Not necessarily
I said shout out to Coco.
Shout out to Coco. So, Coco Foolish. Then you got Downtown Tony Brown.
Of course.
Then you got like Bobo Lamb, Martini Harris. And then, of course, the late, great Kool-Aid. Those are to me, that's who set the table, right? Now I have my comedian siblings who I have the utmost respect for, but I don't necessarily deem them as better comics than I am. And so that's like your Joshes, your Mike Larry's, Heather, all of the Motown Laugh, all of them. So you're talking about, Ron, Jeff
Horace,
Darius. You know what I'm saying? These are
you, right?
Yeah. Ryan out here, Jeff out here, and Darius out here.
Jeff did move. Yeah, Jeff did move
out here. And so, you know, those guys keep me on my toes. Those are the comics that I'm like, man, you know, I just got a lot of respect for these guys. Clayton Thomas is in there. You know, Joe Blunt. Man, shit. Mike.
Mike who?
I'm about to say Michael Collier. Goddamn. Fuck. Mike McDaniel, but not Mike McDaniel. I'm talking about
Shout out to Mike Larry.
Who?
I said Mike Leary.
Oh yeah, Mike Leary. Yeah, I already said Mike Leary.
Yeah,
I can't think of the nigga name. Nigga went to high school with my mama. Michael Bonner. God damn, I couldn't think of the last name. Mike Bonner. I know, right? My bad. Shit. But yeah, like these are, you know, to me, man, like we all special because coming from Detroit and doing the comedy that we do, bro, it's like Gemini. I was somewhere. And a comedian like, man, you from the D, you know Gemini. I'm like, man, what the fuck? But
he'll be excited to hear that.
Oh yeah, that nigga got mad love out in LA. Shout out my nigga Boo Capone talking about my nigga Gemini. But yeah, so you know, I have a lot of respect for them. My peers, I respect not only what they do, but I respect where they do it at. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy. And you know, coming to these other cities, it is easy. It is easy to have your best night in a rinky-dink ass club in LA, but you know, LA Reid is there, or you know, Will Packard is there, and then your whole life has changed. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that in the D. Jay Will, my fault, I didn't even say Jay Will, but like we didn't have that in Detroit. We just, you know, you do good. Somebody might let you hit their blunt a couple times, and then your fucking night is over.
Might get you some wing dings.
Yeah, you might get some. Oh yeah, some free food.
But let me get
you know what I'm saying?
Long Island.
Right. That was it. That was, you know, you come home, your girl, like, how you do? Like, I got 2 free Long Islands, a Heineken, some wings, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what it means. So, you know, I think that, you know, like, you know, people, I just want them to know how dope they are. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother Josh, we talk about he slept on. I'll be like, man, you ain't slept on. I just, you know, that's a scary slope. You know what I'm saying? I know, like, it's just you don't want to say you slept on, because that's saying, you know, like I know motherfuckers who come up to me and tell me, you know who funny? Josh. And I'll be like, all right, well, I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? But what it is that, you know, people got a way of telling you what your success is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so then they trick you out of enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Then you look up, and then the best part and the funnest shit is behind you. Like when I was living in the city, all I wanted to do was be in LA and be doing all the shit I'm doing, but this shit hella work. Yeah, I imagine pulling up to fucking Nikki D's with Josh and Ron and Jeff, and we sitting there writing jokes and roasting and laughing, eating like life gets crazy. And it's like, man, you know, I get it because all the people that I named, they all are $1 million comedians. Mm-hmm. These are $1 million comedians. And so you're not going to feel comfortable or feel right until you get what you deserve, like Black people in America. The Black man in America, we are owed so much that our good days just be all right. And so I think that, you know, I just, you know, it's like, part of the reason why I'm so humble, man, is because I know that there's niggas who on any given night could be funnier than me. That's where I'm from. That it's like, bruh, nigga, it ain't always fair. And you got to be the main nigga who understands that about yourself, or else you just, you know, self-awareness or the lack of self-awareness is like one of the most horrible, ugliest things ever.
And then on top of it, the business aspect of it, because a lot of people, a lot of artists, they don't focus on the business aspect. They focus on the art, but not the paperwork.
Yeah, that was me.
Not the organizing, not the management, not the scheduling, not the booking, they just focus on the art. So then those people will become stagnant because they don't do what they need to. Like for instance, I volunteered to manage certain people for free. I'm like, I'm gonna give you 2 months because I love you and I want to help you. And I'm broke anyway, so it don't matter. So I might as well do some shit to help you, because if I help you, then you gonna fucking get a bag and then your ass gonna fucking help me. And I've had people turn me down and I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Well, you know, good luck.
That's the thing though.
No, I'm not gonna be able to come to your show. I'm not about to catch your show, but
ain't no humility. For example, one of my brothers who I work with, his name is B. Lee, Brandon Lee. Now, when we were in Detroit, B. Lee was my manager, right? Mm-hmm. But we had a conversation. I told him, I'm like, look, bro, one thing that I can't allow to happen is for you to learn the business on me. You can't learn on me. You can learn with me, but you can't learn on me. So what's going to happen is this. We're down for life. My whole career, I'm gonna make sure. But it's like when I say, okay, I have a manager that is going to manage us to get us to the next level, then your position needs to change. See, your ultimate goal should be to be the president in my company, not to be my manager for the rest of my fucking life. No, like I'm going to grow. I'm going to get a manager that deals with people like me on a daily basis and gets them to where they need to go. And I'm taking you with me. And then as I grow and begin to start my company, you're the first person who is working for us. This ain't even, you know what I'm saying? But that's how it has to go though. Like
everybody don't have that grab and go mentality.
Man, yeah, it's the blind leading the blind. It's the, you know, it's the idea that I owe you more loyalty than I can afford. You know what I'm saying? Because we real niggas. No, that's not what it's about. What it's about is I do owe you all the loyalty, but what does that look like? Does nobody want to, like, a manager is not the end all be all. Half of these managers out of Hollywood is only that because they couldn't become actors. So don't let that be the end all be all. You have the absolute right mentality. Other cats who tried to manage me feel like, you know, they were going to have this all-star client and they was going to be living the life. It's like, no, bro, if you're not ready to work, then this ain't that. Because if I can't look down a roster and see a bunch of motherfuckers you manage that have that same where I want to go, then I can't. My first manager in Hollywood that wasn't B. Lee was a dude named James Barnett. James Barnett was managing me, Chris Rock, Jamie Foxx, Reese Spoon.
You were part of CAA, weren't you?
Well, no, at that time I was a part of LBI.
Okay.
So, you know, I went to LBI because what I saw was I always see I see the writing on the wall, right? So my manager at that time, he was brand new, but he was Steve Barnett's son. Steve Barnett runs he runs Columbia Records or one of the big ass records. He's like the guy. So he let his son be a manager. So I signed with his son because I'm like, well, dude, the networking that you've been able to do at the dinner table is more valuable than the network niggas is doing down at Floods and all that bullshit like that. Like, no. So I'm gonna let you manage me. And you know, that's how I got with Jamie Foxx. So we ended up writing a project a few years ago. And that's how you get your name into circles. That's like, you know, this game is political. I may not know the business, but I know the politics very well. And so my thing is art and politics. And so I needed somebody for business. And so that's it. And so, but yeah, the politics, you got to understand, like, you got to move in ways that's going to get you where you're trying to go, not trying to be seen. I got to get where I got to go. People know me who you may not know they know me until it's time for you to know they know me. I'm happy that they know me. It ain't about what you know. And I be trying to get that through to some of my brothers. Like, bro, look. You ever had some dope ass shit happen and you by yourself? And you'd be like, fuck, why wasn't nobody else here to see that shit? It's like, because it wouldn't happen if they was there. Flat out. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, bad managers make it hard on me because by the time they get to me, they either burn out from an ass load of managers that ain't even real managers, but they like to say that shit on paper. or they broke because they didn't spend so much money on a fucked up manager, and they think that a manager isn't good anymore because they had so many bad ones. So it's like, you know, I definitely get your path and what you're talking about, because I get that from the receiving end, because there's so many trash ass managers that are really barely even assistants. You know what I'm saying? They barely even assistants, and they out here calling themselves managers. So I definitely understand. Weren't you a part of CAA? Are you a part of CAA now?
I'm with CAA now.
Okay.
So I ended up leaving James and got a better manager. My manager now is I'm with Artists First, Kevin Parker. He managed. He got like me, Angela Yee, Anthony Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
They do work. Yeah, they do work with like Will Smith and his company. They just signed these guys that's about to make that Fresh Prince drama. Aquarians. I'm a Pisces.
I'm an Aquarius. They talking about
Aquarius. Oh yeah. When your birthday?
January 31st.
Okay, yeah. My wife is in Aquarius, January 25th.
Yeah, they that even a part of what you were saying, as far as CAA, you know, that's even an honor to even say that you are a part of CAA.
But you know what's crazy is that it just happened organically. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had an agent that I really believed in. He was at a smaller firm. And I'm like, man, dude, like, you rock with me. I remember my wife, I used to call her back home and tell her about him. Like, man, I got this agent, man. His name is Chris. His name is Chris Licata. He's just dope. He really be looking out for me, And I just thought he was dope. I didn't know that this nigga was in the running to be one of the best agents in Hollywood based on clients' interpretation of him.
Mm-hmm.
CAA came and swooped him up. And so he brought me to CAA with him. Only client he brought. And I was like, oh shit. And so I get in there, and then, you know, this is how it went. So he's my literary agent. So everything I write, he's the guy who, you know, gets me to meetings, and I say I want to write this, he connected me with whatever. I was only over there to be a writer. Then from being in the room, they're like, oh, meet this guy. He's a stand-up agent. Oh, how you doing, bro? What's your name? CP? Yeah, cool. When is your next show? I'm doing a show tonight in Hollywood. I'm gonna come through. Came through, brought the team. After the show, let me talk to you for a minute. I'm like, what's up? Dude, you're amazing. We want to sign you. Bam. That turned into now I got 2 agents in CAA, right? Now I'm there for literary. I'm there for touring, right? Mm-hmm. I'm over there one day chilling with my new agent, talking to him. Somebody walks in, CP. This is Erica Lancaster. She's talent. Oh, how you doing, Erica? Good. Bam. Now she's repping me. Then it's Barry, you know, it's like Barry Kotler. You know, these are like super duper names that I'm telling you that, you know, organically, because I'm going to tell people this, man. I was really, really popular in high school because I was a class clown.
Right.
But if you really want to be popular, you got to stay in class, right? That's where everybody at. So how do you stay in class? You stop from getting kicked out, right? The teacher kicked me out every hour, right? Chris, get your books and get out, because you can't stop talking. Get out. All right, cool. I started going to the principal's office first thing in the morning. Her name was Mrs. Spite. Hey, Miss Spite, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Chilling. How's your mama? My mama, all right. Became her best motherfucking friend. So now, when I get kicked out of class, what you do? Talking. Why can't you shut up? Because I just like talking. Go back to class. Teacher's like, what she do? She talked to me. She gonna call my mama. Mm-hmm. I bet she is. Call my mama. They talking about all kind of other shit. The point is that the politics, you have to understand that the writing is on the wall. You just got to fucking read it, right? All these agents, ain't no fucking 4-year-old or no fucking 14-year-old talking about, I want to be an agent at CAA, unless their parent is one. But for the most part, they want to be in the entertainment industry, right? In any capacity. But let's say that they don't have the talent to do that, right? So now, what else is it about being famous? Having famous friends, having access. So what I do is I go to my agent's office once or twice a month. Talk to all, even if you're not my agent, you need to know my personality. You need to know what makes, you know, who I am, what I'm about. And that did is it made me so popular with the people who are in charge of booking and people who got these different, let's bring CP in on this. Let's bring CP in. Bro, it's just like, because nobody thinks about them. Everybody want to be Will Smith friend. Nobody want to be Charlie Mack friend. And you don't even know who the fuck Charlie Mack is. But Charlie Mack is responsible for Will Smith.
Everybody doesn't understand the power and importance of networking. And I've been preaching to that aspect for years, and it's like people don't listen to me. Like you better network with every motherfucker in the room.
But see, that's the thing though. People want to network,
and how you can talk to those people.
People want to network with the stars.
Yeah.
You gotta network with these barbers and these makeup artists and these directors and these PAs. Like everybody, once everybody know your name, now you can begin to maneuver the correct way. The reason why don't nobody know you, because all you want to know is the motherfuckers who you know. It's like, man, look, dog. So my whole thing, man, like my baby's got to eat, bro. So like, I don't get jammed up. My whole career is like a Roomba vacuum. There are 365 degrees on this planet. If I hit a wall, a slight left is an escape. It's like nothing can stop. You have to keep it moving. I'm not married to no ideas. I look at what Dave Chappelle is doing with his with his intellectual property. I'm an IP comedian. That's the kind of comedian I am. I'm an intellectual property. Everything I do has a piece of intellectual property attached to it. Reggie Bo, that's IP. You know what I'm saying? Like this puppet, this character, this story, that's IP. I sell those like real estate. If you sell me a lot and you don't think shit of it, and then I fucking build a Best Buy, don't get mad at me. Charge what you want to get for the lot. That's it. So like for me, it's like, yeah, I sell shows. They don't go. I get the bread. I get my IP back because that's in my contract. And I move like that. Other people, like, let's say Dave Chappelle. I'm like, damn, my nigga, why can't you just do another show? Then it's like, wait, when the last time you saw Dave Chappelle act? Then it's like, oh, wait, maybe the nigga can't. Then it's like, oh, if I couldn't, then I would want to get the best shit I ever did back under my control. If I was never going to do anything else. Because if you're not an IP comedian, maybe you're the kind of comedian that is a social ass, like a social commentary or a storytelling comedian or one of those kind. In that case, your pieces of IP are very important to you because you're not selling them, you're renting them out. You understand? You got investment properties. I'm flipping.
I was talking about that earlier. It's like because I was on the phone with my brother, Jason Reeves, who's a really known Black indie comic creator, and we were talking about when people get bags, like it's good to get the bag, but what you gonna do with the bag? Are you gonna flip it? Are you gonna turn that one bag into 17 bags and then give those bags to other people so they can eat off those bags and build on those bags? Or you just gonna buy shit and then wait for the next bag to come?
I did both. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I think it was very important for me to. I spent a lot of money giving my kids experiences that I missed out on trying to grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was times where I couldn't afford that, or we can't get that, or daddy got to get this, and it's like, man, they was understanding when I didn't even want them to understand. And so it's like, yeah, when I get this bag, yeah, we blowing it. We going to Disneyland this week, Legoland next week, back to Disneyland next week because the goddamn the Dole Whips was fire. It's like we did that. We fucked up some chains in this motherfucker for sure. But that go back to being an IP comedian though. It's like everything I do, I expect to be a hit. Period. Everything I do is like, okay, what do y'all need? Y'all need something else? I'm gonna come up with these characters. I'm gonna use life and my experiences to create. And that's just, man, I got so much respect for Dave. Something that you said earlier was such a key point about how, as a comedian, your time is your time. Think about the run that Kevin Hart had over the last maybe decade, right? From 2009 to 2019, Kevin Hart went crazy, right?
Yeah.
He's still an icon, still a legend, but now Dave is the GOAT. You think Dave was happy about watching Kev do what he did for the last 10? You think he was happy about what Key and Peele was doing? But when you look at the world, it always works out. Dave, you are the GOAT, like you always was supposed to be the GOAT. Everything you doing is aligning up. You left 50 on the table, picked up 60, doing what you love. You worked for 3 hours and got 60 million. At the end of the day, I know he toured it and all of that, but at the end of the day, nigga, the game was the game. When the lights came on, the ball was tipped. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where it's like time will tell all. We don't know who the GOAT gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
yesterday, yesterday it was like, oh, this nigga Kevin Hart might be the last famousest comedian ever, the way he was looking. But so I think, you know, that's Dave Chappelle is just a great indicator and reminder that your story is never nowhere near complete until your eyes close for good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I personally have problems with Dave Chappelle ethics, but as far as the business aspect, I definitely agree with all that you're saying. And, you know, everybody has a specific time to do specific things, to grow, to move, to build. Everybody has their time, and it's all about what are you going to do when you finally get that time? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to take advantage of that time, or are you just going to fuck it over? You gonna fuck over that time and not build with that time, or you gonna take advantage of that time and do 987 movies like Kevin Hart did?
I'm gonna tell you something. Everything you miss, you can get back, and then if you can't get it back, then you weren't supposed to have it, because that's like, I mean, let me give you an example, right? Sacrifices for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you think about, oh man, you know, like, oh, you know, these hoes ain't feeling me. You know how niggas be, man, these hoes ain't feeling me, man. You know, and so you can focus on that, right, and try to figure out how you can fix your shit up, because that's all you are, is just some shit right there. You ain't got shit going. Right. So let me fix my shit, turn it into a little shit snowman, so that people might like the shit that they see. Or you can look at that as a fact of life. You're not where you want to go. You're not where you need to go. So why should somebody be interested in what you have going on right now when you're not even interested in it? You don't even know.
Yeah.
So you're going to scour the earth looking for somebody who's into fours.
Yeah.
Because your ass is on level 4 right now. Who is liking fours? Before you're going to get yourself to level 10 and then pick your pick.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You want that car. You want that car. You want it right now, but you can't afford it. But that car ain't going nowhere. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, you can get either that one or the new one and get it restored and do whatever you could do. Have a brand new one when you get the bread. But don't nobody want to think like that. Everything I ever wanted, I got. I may not have got it when I wanted it, but I have it.
Mm-hmm.
I have it. And sometimes I have it where I can appreciate it way more than I would have if I just got it when I was getting shit that I thought I deserved. You know, so I think people got to get over that. Like, your time will come, but even in acknowledging that, people still be like, "But when?" It's like, nigga, shut up. We just said it's gonna come. Like, but when? Are we there yet? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people hating on other. I hear a lot of comedians hating on a lot of other comedians, but it's like you ain't even got even remotely where the fuck you are supposed to be at, so you shouldn't even be talking about no motherfucking body right now, you know. And it's a very common thing that I've seen with comedians, always hating on the next comedian, and that next comedian is always somebody that's like big as shit.
But you gotta understand too, that shit hurts, and I get it. It hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel for them, but you have to understand that it's like, while you sitting there thinking about what you want, you not ordering. At McDonald's, if you get to the front of the line, you be like, let me get a motherfucking shit. They be like, sir, stand to the side real quick. And 5 motherfuckers would know exactly what they want. Finna come up and be like, number 9, number 4, number 3. And sometimes you don't know what you want. And it takes for you to see another motherfucker with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they got the McRib. Ooh, what's that? A McRib?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I want a McRib. Now, if you was a real nigga, you would come back to my table and be like, hey, bro, Thank you for showing me that they had a McRib, because I didn't even know I was going to look at my McRib now. I got 2 of them bitches. But niggas don't do that, though. Niggas want to shit on you. Like, how you going to shit on me when I put you on game? You can't shit on me. How you going to shit on a nigga that's taller than you? Like, nigga, you got to get up here to shit. It's like, it don't make no sense. I don't know. I don't entertain it because I got love for everybody. I try to, reach out. I'm a resource. I got a lot of information that I don't think people would really expect me to have. And if you don't ask, then you will never know. Keep thinking that I'm lucky and I got everything I got because I'm a lucky nigga with a couple of jokes. Keep thinking that. And it's like, you're going to miss out. I'm trying to help everybody.
A lot of people don't even realize that you come from the business aspect, though. They don't know about your advertising stuff. They don't know about all the shit that you did with Tommy. They don't know about all the business aspects and how you move and everything. And that's why I wanted to interview you, because I had a feeling a lot of people, they hee ha ha about comedian CP, but they don't know Chris Powell. Yeah. And, I wanted to make sure that I talked to Chris Powell today as well, so we could talk about, building.
That's my advice, man.
How do you get money? It's like, networking is so fucking important to me. So I always on every interview, I talk about business and networking, because networking is severely important to me, because that's how we as a community are going to grow. That's how we going to build. And if we don't start learning how to fucking network, if we don't start, even in the comic book shit, if you at a convention, I've seen people at conventions, or they'll go to a smaller Black convention. And because they at a smaller Black convention, they think nobody is important. So they'll just sit at their table the whole time like this, but they won't be talking to this person right here and this person right there and that person right there, not realizing that A, B, and C do an ass load of shit that your ass don't even have an idea. And A, B, and C could actually help your ass get to where the fuck they are. But you so much in your, these just a whole bunch of niggas. So I'm just about to sit here, sell my few comic books and go back to the hotel, because people don't know how to network. You know what I'm saying? People really don't know the importance of networking and socializing and introducing yourself and stuff like that, because you don't know who the fuck you're going to be talking to.
Right. And that goes back to what we talked about earlier before we got on the call about why I got my hair like this now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that before we got off. So let's talk about this. So let me just act like we didn't talk about that. So why did you decide to start twisting your hair?
So I've been, like everybody else, watching the news and seeing how the police was doing us, and seeing how our perception, in order to be successful and in order to be taken serious, has to be presented in a way that is general market friendly. And I use general market so that I don't have to say white, right? But
we know what it is.
You understand where I'm going from. It's like right. Where it's like my hair was getting longer because it's pandemic. And then I started thinking about it like, man, why am I just cutting my shit all the time and trying to be so neat and put together so that I don't scare my neighbors or scare, white people or any other race from, because I feel like the whole perception of being Black when I'm in rooms where I'm the only Black person in there, it all rests on me. So I got to be the smartest, but then I also got to be the funniest, and I also got to be, and I think that I had to really break it down. It's like, man, why do I feel like I can't be myself? And I look at my white counterparts, and they got, they might have a mullet, or they might have a surfer long shit, or they might have a skinhead, or they might have a buzz cut. All of that shit cash checks at the bank. Mm-hmm. All of that shit sit at board tables. Mm-hmm. And I think that, okay, maybe they might see a nigga with some twists in his hair, and instead of getting scared of that nigga, think about, man, well, I know CP's pretty smart, and I know he might be smart like CP. He might get his hair twisted where CP gets. He might not. It's like, fam, we gotta stop getting our money and fucking turning white, and because that perpetuates, that draws a line in the sand about who is the real threat and who's not, mm-hmm. and it's not true. Mm-hmm. Trayvon Martin, if I scare you just being who the fuck I am, then I need to be that a lot more. So mm-hmm. that you can see what it really is about. It's like, bro, niggas get some money and run to these white designers and then run to, you know, these is European designers. They're wearing Europe. You an African, nigga. Your body is bigger than their body. We wearing European shit, Cam Newton and all these motherfuckers like, bro, look, for what? Looking like a goddamn dandelion sniffer, sunflower seed eating ass. But see, that's the kind of shit that's like, oh, he's a nice, intelligent nigger. And then they look at a nigga like me and be like, oh, what are you here for? It's like, nigga, I'm here to sign his check, bitch ass nigga. You don't even know who the fuck you talking to.
Right.
That's that kind of shit though. I will put myself on the cross for that. I had a couple auditions in the last few months. They're like, OCP, your hair is different. What you gonna do, dog? Y'all gonna cast me or not? No? All right, I got shit anyway. I'm not worried about it. But in this position, I have to take this stance.
Because my son is exactly on the same exact shit right now. Like at 100% for the same exact reasons. You know, he's like 100% exactly the same. And that's why I was happy that you even mentioned it. Because at first I was a parent and I was like, well, I hope this don't hinder him. I hope he doesn't not get a job because his hair gonna be locked or his hair gonna be twisted. He can run it out. And I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm crowned. I sound crazy as hell saying this shit. Like, I'm black as fuck. Like, why would I not want my son to be black as fuck? Because when I was worried, my son was like on FaceTime looking at me like, are you saying this crazy ass shit to me? Like, you of all fucking people, like Maya Crown Williams, your black ass telling me, your son, that you don't want me to wear my hair a certain way. And I had to check myself because my son is turning into me like heavily as hell. And I'm proud of that because, you know, even where you are in Hollywood and LA and all of the whole planet of California, you know, I could imagine all the bullshit that you get or that you can get continuously from not fitting into the norm. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy though. Nobody ever came at me like that. I always was in the process of checking myself sometimes, and I just got sick of that. Nobody, they never come at CP like that. CP, because see, the thing is, I'm not a quiet, humble young man. I don't give a fuck. I'm in a room full of white people. I'm writing with Vince Vaughn and his company. I'm in there like, nigga, we do it like it's because that's me. And it's like, you got it. You have to understand that it's like the higher I go, I can't get quieter. Because that be niggas' problem. The higher they go, like, man, I can't fuck this money up. It's like, no, fuck that. I'll take 100 bands to go buy a fucking big rig truck. Put that bitch on the road, let that pay my bills, and it's like, all right, fuck y'all. Watch me let my nuts hang and my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, I hate that it gotta be like that, but it's like,
it's not right that it's like that.
Yeah. Shit ain't right. And so you can't go into a system that's not right and assimilate. I came into the system because I want to be a part of the industry, but I'd be damned if I have to assimilate my talent or my being because I'm the yoke.
Your president. That's right.
I'm the yoke. So how valuable is my brain? How valuable is my brand of comedy to you? If it should be more valuable than how my hair looking. If it don't, then I can't fuck with this company anyway.
Period.
And so I think that I had to do that. I had to. My daughter's like, you look weird. I'm like, yeah, y'all will learn. This will happen for a minute. Because it's like, yeah. Oh no, shit. I'm hanging. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, you hanging, brother. You
hanging like a motherfucker. But yeah, I did them. She did them to the back this time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just important, man. Like, you know, as we grow into these people who aren't afraid to lose our positions, we have to act like it.
So is there anything that you want to tell the audience? Is there anything that you want to leave with the audience that we haven't discussed? Because I know I asked you 89,000 things.
I want my audience to, or the audience listening and the audience that will be watching it after, I want the support of the people who are looking for somebody who is intelligent and a little hood and a little, that's funny but woke, and somebody who understands what our plight is. Like, when you see me in these movies and you see me on these TV shows, I need you to watch them because, they would love to prove me wrong that this is not what we need. and they can go back to the little bullshit niggas who gonna run around and jump and dance and put the wig on and all that bullshit. It's like, so I need I really need y'all to rock with me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be able to speak to the things that I say. If you don't agree with it, that's fine. But I can definitely dialogue about anything that I have the balls to say, be it on stage or be it in an interview or anything. I'm that comic. I'm the comic that has I can find the comedy in anything, and if I choose to express it, I also can justify why it's fucked up and why I chose to dialogue about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man. Like, I promise to be myself the whole time and to continue to kind of push that narrative, because they need it, because they're not gonna give us. We got to give them us.
That's what's up. That's I definitely appreciate this whole interview. It don't really feel like an interview. It feel more like a
catch up.
Yeah, because I haven't seen you in so long.
Super long, man.
Super fucking long. I mean, like TV Lounge going off on Shabella.
Shout out to Shabella, man.
Apologize to my sis, because you went to
Shabella, man. Bella know I love her, man. Exactly. She know what it is. That's my dog.
Shout out to Shabella, co-founder of Black Porn Matters, one of the trillest and most prolific and profitable Black porn companies that we have, because they understand the importance of our presence in wherever, whatever you do, make sure you do it with your people. Make sure that you are productive. Make sure that you're in business.
Man, that's man. Yeah, man, killing it out in Vegas.
So where can they find you on social media and everywhere?
I make it very easy, man. Social media, everything is Comedian CP. So I don't know why my Cash App is. I just realized that that's the Cash App and not the.
Hey, send some money.
Hey, you feel me? But yeah, everything's at Comedian CP. I know TikTok, somebody took it, but yeah, but everything else is Comedian CP.
That's because they corny and they wanted people to think that
they tried to ask me to buy it.
Corny.
It was a nigga in Africa. He was in Africa. I'm like, bro, I gotta cuss you out. You in the motherland, and you want to cuss these motherland hands? Nigga, I'll beat your ass with my motherfucking name, nigga.
That's what these people do, though. Like, of all parties, that's what they do. My boy Newton Willavoy, that's the founder of Dream Fury. He got like 9 million websites for the very reason. He like every single way you could possibly think of my business name. I already bought that domain. I already got that set up on, because people are, they petty as hell. Yeah. It's a sister that got a whole hair company called My Year Crown. And she trying to tell me that it's a coincidence.
Wow.
A whole ass hair company called My Year Crown. It's the funny.
Is she?
Huh?
She not. I know she ain't in Detroit though.
Oh, I had nut the fuck up if she was.
All right. Cool.
If she was in Detroit, now I really would have had her. I really would have had her.
I'm like, oh man, you over here letting that ride? You done got soft on us, man. You done got the. I
really would have had a problem if she was in Detroit. But shit, spelled this out like this bitch crazy as hell. But anyway, thank you so much. I'm not gonna keep keeping you, because I ain't even realized how long we were talking until like 2 minutes ago, and I feel bad.
Oh no, it's all good. This was like the biggest thing of my day today. Get my hair twisted up and do this interview, man. So
with your late ass, no.
Oh man, hey, we did it though. You got
it, brother. I appreciate you in full, and thank you so much.
All right, I will be in touch. Say my number too. Lock me in.
Oh, I already did. I'm petty. I already like, and we gonna talk about that inbox. No, I'm just joking.
All right. All right.
Peace.
All right. Peace out.